Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Eddie Tunick. Welcome to the Eddie Tunick Show. This afternoon we are at the Media Bureau in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and we have an actor here who's a very talented young gentleman by the name of Bernard Glincosky. Bernard, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Eddie. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
Let's talk a little bit about you. You have an interesting education in acting, and I've seen a little bit of what you do. You're pretty good.
Thanks, Ed. I appreciate that.
You are. That's one of the reasons you're here, get some exposure.
Excellent. Excellent.
How did you get started? How old were you when you got started in acting?
Well, I got started after college. I'd always wanted to study acting, but I was about my junior year in college, and I made my decision. I said, you know what, when I get my degree, that's it, I'm going to start studying. So shortly after getting the degree, I went over to Mike Lemon Casting.
Okay.
I was a volunteer at the time for the Philadelphia Film Festival, and one of the venues we were using was Mike's casting office, so I was able to have the opportunity to go up and meet him and ask him, you know, how do I get started in acting? So he said, there's a couple ways, but you got to start training, you know? And he said, we do have internships here. So I got on the phone the next day after that and kept calling and bugging the heck out of them until finally they said, show up, you know, next Monday and we'll give you an internship. So I started to do the interning there at the casting office, and from there I was able to build up hours toward acting classes. So instead of paying, I could build up these intern hours and start studying. So that's when I started taking classes through Mike and also Diane Heary at the time that was working there.
I've heard of Mike Lemon. He's pretty popular in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Really a talented guy.
Yeah, he's great. Really, really good guy.
You learned a lot from him.
I did immensely. Yeah, he's got his heart into it.
That's what I heard.
Opened up some doors for me to get started.
Great. Now, how did you, I know you went to LA for a while. How did you end up going, what happened in LA?
Yeah, shortly after taking those first couple classes over at Mike's, I said, the heck with it. I had the opportunity to move out to LA, so I did it with, you know, a couple $100 and just moved in with a couple people, and I just started attacking it, you know. So within 3 months, I was able to get an opportunity to be in the Screen Actors Guild. Didn't have a whole heck of a lot of training, but that was my intention of being out there, was to get into a really good acting, you know, studio and study. So that's what I did. I was out there for about 4 years, and I got into Howard Fine Acting Studio.
Howard Fine, pretty well-known guy.
Really good, really good.
Did he have students like Brad Pitt and?
Yeah, but tons and tons of celebrities that you probably know, and working actors have studied with Howard Fine, without a doubt. During the time at Howard Fine, I was also studying with Karen Ludwig, which was a member of the studio, and also Rowena Ballos while I was there. And then I did that for about a year, and then I moved on to Vincent Chase. He's an old studio coach.
I've heard
from many years ago, so I was able to study with him for a little while. And I also studied with Terry Burland, some of the names, you know, of the people out there.
No wonder you're good. You got a lot of training. You're not just a pretty face. He's a good-looking guy. I mean, he looks like an actor, but you know, we all know it's more than just looks.
It sure is.
When you get in front of that camera.
It sure is.
Whether you can perform or not, and
exactly.
You paid your dues. You really do have thorough training. When you left LA, you came back to Philadelphia.
I did. I stayed in LA 4 years, then I ended up coming back to Philly.
You got involved with the Media Bureau here.
I did. I walked right into Media Bureau and got a role in their first independent feature called Order of the Quest, and started to develop a relationship with them, which ultimately led to a partnership. So I was able to really hone in on my acting skills here, and ultimately, you know, be involved in acting in a lot of different ways, with shows that were being produced out of here, you know, all kinds of stuff, all different musical.
Do you have acting classes here too?
Yeah, actually, after being here for a couple of years, was given the opportunity to, you know, put on my own thing here. So I reached out to a local master acting coach by the name of George DiCenzo, who my manager introduced me to.
I've heard of him.
And I persuaded him to come in here and teach classes out of here.
And he did.
And he did, yeah. It took about 8 months and some traveling to New York and a lot of enthusiasm, but finally I got an email from him and he said, hey Bernard, is that spot still available? You know, and I'm like, yeah, it is, George. He's like, all right, we'll be in business together. So I was able to bring him in And he stayed here, I think about 6 to 8 months he was here.
How'd it work out?
It was really great, you know. It was good because it was, you know, I was able to be with him a lot, you know, one-on-one, and just really get inside his mind about acting. And this is the guy that graduated from Yale Drama School. He studied out at the Beverly Hills Playhouse for many years under Glincosky.
Yeah,
so,
I know he's pretty well known.
Yeah, so he had a lot of knowledge. And
That's great.
It was good to spend that time with him, you know. And then after he had left here, he was toward the end of his life, actually. He died not too long ago, a couple of years back. And then Ken McGregor came in. Ken McGregor came in as a student through George. And then that's how he and I met. Then he gave me, he told me a little bit about himself, which was that he'd been an acting coach all over the world as well. From there, we ended up going into something we called Affordable Acting Workshop. So we took over from where George left off, and we had those classes in here too for about a solid year. So that was a whole nother, you know, getting the opportunity to be with another mentor of acting.
It's really good to talk to somebody like you that really puts their heart and soul into it. I mean, you do this full time, and you know what it takes to really make it in this business, and you're going to make it.
Thanks.
Yeah,
appreciate that.
You are. You're dedicated. You do the training, which is really, really important. A lot of people, I remember when I went to Hollywood a long time ago, a lot of people think they have a pretty face and, you know, I look like a movie star, I'm going to make it, and they don't get the training they need. And that, you really have some thorough training.
One of the things that Ken McGregor taught me was, and it's the words that he lives by, he always expresses it to all his acting students, and that's do the work. You know, so there's a lot of work to be done behind the scenes, and until you get to do that work, until you're doing it 7 days a week, you know, then and only then will you really realize what this art is all about. You know, and like you said, it definitely takes, you know, putting your heart into it, you know, with and putting it all on the table to get somewhere with it. You know, so that's kind of the approach that I've taken, and luckily I've had these mentors that have given me the right guidance.
What are you doing right now? Are you in any plays or films right now? Right
now I'm working on a film called The Halls of Harold Carvey.
Right.
And then I'm also right now doing a stage play. It's a one-act play called Neighbors.
It's going on right now?
Yeah, I'm in rehearsals for the play right now, and we're shooting the film right now. So
when does the play start?
The play is going to open on June 1st is actually the premiere, and then the 2nd is the opening.
Okay.
June 2nd.
Can we tell people out there, like, they can buy tickets and see the show?
Sure, they can go.
How do they tell everybody how they do this?
You can go to Walking Fish Theater, and theater is spelled with an RE.com, and you can purchase tickets for Neighbors and Within the Skins of Saints, which is another play, another one act that we're going to do at the same time. So actually you get two for the price of one.
Okay.
Show, yeah.
Everybody go see this, go see this guy. It's going to be good. Now, for the people out in Hollywood, I mean, there's a lot going on for you here, but like, I'm sure there's people out there in Hollywood and New York that are in the film industry looking for talent, okay, that might be watching this interview. How do they get in touch with you? One thing, I got to ask you for a favor, because I want to be doing some scenes that we want to put up on the internet and everything. Would you consider doing a scene with me?
Absolutely.
I think
absolutely.
I think it would be pretty interesting.
That would be pretty cool.
We'll just pick the right film and we'll work on it, and we'll give the listeners out there an opportunity not only to see Bernard but to see me. We'll pick a good movie and we'll put it up.
Let's do it.
Okay, listen.
All right.
Thanks for being my guest. It was good seeing you, Bernard.
Good to see you too. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks for my pleasure. And thanks for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll see you very soon on the next show.